What's up, y'all, and welcome back to Waves Weekly, my series where I talk about weekly video game news and what I think about stuff that's happening in the industry. We got some pretty good stuff to talk about today, but one thing I want to mention before we start today's episode is the video essay that's coming up soon. A lot of Waves Weeklies have been updated since the last video essay dropped, and I just want to let y'all know it's taken some time. It's going to be around 30 to 25 minutes of playtime. I'm having a great time editing it, and I think y'all will love it once it does come out. I also do enjoy making these Waves Weeklies as well, and I do have some other ideas for a different series that I want to start soon, so y'all just stay tuned. But I've been having so much fun with this channel so far, and I thank all of y'all for supporting and getting me to 100 subscribers. But anyways, let's get into today's episode. First news-related thing I want to talk about is Bluepoint Games once again, and this is about how a Bloodborne remake from Bluepoint could have reportedly happened, but FromSoft said no to Bluepoint. As y'all also know, there's been a lot of controversy surrounding Bluepoint Games right now because Sony recently just shut down that studio and laid off over 70 employees who worked there, as we talked about in Waves Weekly number 4. But a new report from Bloomberg said that the recently shut down Bluepoint Games pitched a Bloodborne remake in early 2025, but the original developer from FromSoft rejected it. According to the report, Bluepoint was advised that the numbers made sense, but FromSoft didn't want it to happen. And this isn't a total surprise because a former PlayStation executive, Shuhei Yoshida, if I'm saying that name right, said that the original Bloodborne director, Hidetaka Miyazaki, wanted to remake the game, but he was too busy, and added that he didn't want anyone else to touch it, meaning that he probably wanted FromSoft directly to remake the game and not anyone else. This is understandable because some remakes have been butchered even though the original games have been very great, but Bluepoint has made amazing remakes and amazing remasters, so I think they would be the studio to trust, especially because they were a studio under Sony, which originally published Bloodborne back in the day. But in the end, it's his game and it's his art, so if we did get a Bloodborne remake from FromSoft, which it is still possible, it would have been great. But hey, we're still waiting, and I'm a huge Bloodborne fan and can't wait to see what the future says, but honestly, we're more set on getting Half-Life 3 than a Bloodborne remake at this point. Right now, though, we've been getting so many remakes in gaming, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just like to see unique projects more, but Bloodborne is the #1 game in the world that needs a remake most desperately right now. It also needs to be ported to PC more than any other game, because there is some emulators that have perfected it, but most people don't know how to use, or they don't want to use emulators, so they want to buy it on PC. I personally have emulated it and didn't have any issues, but I originally played it on console, and it was one of my most favorite games I ever played before, so I hope that one day we could see a remake or even a remaster that's ported to PC. One thing that was noted at the end of this article is that it said that Bluepoint officially closes its doors in March, which we already know, but other companies were making phone calls to see if there might be a way to salvage the company. We don't know anything about that yet, but it's already March and Bluepoint has closed its doors, so maybe we'll see a comeback one day, or maybe even another company will redefine their legacy. Regarding Marathon, though, as you could tell by the background gameplay, I've actually been playing the Server Slam recently, and it's a very fun game. I did not expect to like Marathon this much. One thing I want to say about Marathon, though, is how this game isn't for everyone. Marathon is an extraction shooter, and recently Arc Raiders has been popular, as everyone knows, and a lot of people are going to compare Marathon to Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is a very simplified, ground zero, easy to use extraction shooter experience. A lot of older extraction shooters like Tarkov and some other extraction shooters that I can't think of right now, they're usually a lot more complicated. Like the Tarkov menu, a lot of people know is complicated. And a lot of people are saying the Marathon menus are very complicated and hard to navigate. I disagree in that because it only takes a couple minutes to learn, but when you're coming from a game like Arc Raiders and you compare it directly to Marathon, you're not going to like it. Because Marathon's a very unique, different type of extraction shooter, while Arc Raiders is unique in its own ways, but is more simplified than what Marathon is. Marathon has this unique art style, these shell characters instead of just being a raider, as well as tons of different gun and character mods that you could use while you're playing during a run. I think a lot of people say this, but this game reminds me a lot of Cyberpunk. And not even just the art style. You have cores and implants, which reminds me of cybernetics and stuff like that, and just generally how the guns work and handle, and the movement especially. It's a very great game, and it's very unique, and we don't see many games like this nowadays. Nowadays, it's just hero shooters and maybe a new battle royale every once and now and then for the live service game. So I really hope Bungie takes this game down a good path and it lasts. I don't really think they really intended Marathon to be a game where like it has a huge community and a huge following like Arc Raiders or other really big games. They kind of just planned it to be for people who have the niche interest in the game and kind of form a smallish big community, like around 6,000 or so players a day, rather than 100, 1,000 type of that. I'm just right now enjoying the server slam. I'm not going to pre-order the game or buy it on release day. I'm going to first see how people receive it and how many players it has after maybe a couple weeks or so, then go in with the purchase. I am having a lot of fun though, and I could see me enjoying the game if it has a large community and they don't ruin it with pointless updates, but I've been liking it a lot so far. As you'll also know, Resident Evil Requiem just released, and I haven't bought the game yet because I'm busy playing a lot of other games that I've bought during Steam sales in my library right now. But once I do get the chance and buy it and eventually do play it, I'm very excited to, because I'm a big Resident Evil fan. Not so as much recently because I've been getting into Death Stranding and stuff like that, but I could see that I'd really like the game, and once I do find the time for me to play it after I beat all my other single-player games, then I'm definitely going to give it some time. But I see a lot of people saying really good things about it, and it's super duper popular, so I think it's going to be a good one. I also did finish the new Ultra Kill layer, and I liked it a lot. That was really good. It's just the only thing I really have about it is it gave me a pretty bad headache. There was a lot of, I don't know what you call it, like illusions or the shifting layers and stuff like that. It was hurting my head a lot, but it was very fun, and I haven't played Ultra Kill in a bit, so it was good to go back to that game and see how much I originally liked it. But anyway, that's all I really have to say today, y'all. We had some good news, and I hope y'all have a good one, and thank you for watching. Later.